Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. And before we get into everything, I just want to say please like, subscribe, comment, and make sure you hit that notification bell so you know when you can get my videos whenever I post them. So today I'm going to be reviewing Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings. And let's get into it. So this movie stars Simu Liu, Awkwafina, Tony Leung, and Michelle Yeoh. And if I pronounce any of those names wrong, I sincerely apologize. So, getting into this movie, I'm probably not going to have really anything negative to say because I was blown away by this movie, and this movie was absolutely amazing. The first thing I want to get off right off the bat is the fact that Simu Liu is a star. They had perfect casting for this movie, and he nailed it playing this character. Now, this is a Marvel character that I necessarily didn't know that much about, so I was going into this movie blind and kind of taking in the story of him just like everybody else. So I was pleasantly surprised when I was blown away by this origin story. Now, this does follow the MCU formula of origin stories, and it feels like an MCU movie, but that does not detract from the uniqueness of this movie. And speaking of the uniqueness, this is probably the MCU's best fight choreography, fight scenes that it's had up until this point. Close to it for me is Winter Soldier and the hand-to-hand combat that they had in that movie, but it still doesn't even touch close to this one with the fight scenes and the actors and actresses that they cast to pull off these fights. It was long takes, no cuts in between. You could see what happened in it, and just long crafted choreography that looks beautiful. Now, speaking of looking beautiful, this movie also looks amazing. The great CGI and very colorful, and it shows throughout the movie that this director knows what he's doing. So, which Marvel always does, they can't get great directors to helm these new movies. Now, this movie was also hilarious, and standout from it being very funny was, of course, Awkwafina. Awkwafina is the one with the jokes a mile a minute, and some of them might not land for everybody, but for the most part, she is the comic relief in this, and you really are having a good time. Another comic relief is a surprise cameo that'll pop up like sort of halfway through the movie that a lot of people will recognize, but the humor in this was great. Now, the villain in this was a great villain. We all know that MCU sometimes has a hard time with villains, but for this one, they did a really good job of making him sympathetic. So basically, the character, the Mandarin, which is in the comics that they base off of, basically is Simu Liu or Shang-Chi's father, and he basically plays this Mandarin character that they faked us out with in Iron Man 3. And he kind of goes into that as well throughout the movie. But the villain of this movie is his father, who gives up being this warlord basically with the 10 rings, which are bracelets now, and to start a family. But unfortunately, something happens and stuff like that, and then he goes back to his not so best ways. So later on, he finds a way to try to, as he seems, get his wife back, who unfortunately dies, but things may not be what as it seems. So they do a really good job of making you feel for this villain and really make you understand why he's doing what he's doing. What he's doing is wrong, but nonetheless you understand. So that's another aspect that I really, really liked about this movie. This movie was a knockout. I really enjoyed myself. I was laughing. I was going ooh and ah, especially when the third act kicks in. This third act of this movie looks absolutely amazing. From the fights to the cinematography, from everything, it looks phenomenal. So on a scale of 4, I'm going to give this a 4 out of 4. I really enjoyed this movie. So that was my review for Shang-Chi, The Legend of the Ten Rings. And please comment below. Tell me what you liked. How does it stack up all your rankings of the MCU movies? Did you like it? Did you not? Whatever it is, comment below. Let me know. And always like, subscribe, and I'll see you next time.